I love Sam Pittman as a person, but I, like many of you, am fed up with his leadership of this program. Obviously, Arkansas is fresh off back-to-back one possession losses, and the most frustrating things for me about those losses were the visible lack of effort and our players looking absolutely lost and getting caught completely out of place over and over again. And then you look to the sidelines during these games and after these games in the pressers, and Sam Pittman's demeanor just seems lethargic and almost apathetic. I'm all for poise and composure, but where is the fire? When you know your players and your team are not mentally dialed in, they're consistently making inexcusable mistakes, blown coverages, busted assignments, and that they're clearly not even giving max effort. They're not even running and hustling to the football. How is it even possible as a head coach at this level for a program you say you love so much to just look so indifferent? How does some emotion not at least leak out from you in these moments? It's to the point where I find myself hoping and praying that there's not some more serious mental or physical health issue going on with Sam Pittman right now. Because as I said, it just seems like he has no fire, and his teams are very evidently emulating that on the football field. Once again, whether it's on the sidelines or after the games in the pressers, sure, he looks a little disappointed, but he's certainly not exuding competitive spirit. He's certainly not coming across as someone prepared to do what it takes to make sure these things are corrected and don't happen again. He just comes across as, oh, well, that's football. What can you do? It would be one thing if they lost those games against Ole Miss and Memphis because they simply got beat by a better team, but that's not what happened. They lost the game at Ole Miss despite a historical performance by Taylon Green because the defense was so out of sync, so lost, so clueless, so awful in almost every regard, including, once again, effort, that because the offense wasn't 100% perfect, they fell short at the end. They lost last week's game at Memphis because the defense made absolutely no improvement. They were as equally awful against a lesser opponent. And conversely, the offense had a couple of turnovers, took a couple steps back from their performance the previous week, and once again, with the game on the line, could not finish to secure the victory. And of course, with the opportunity to give the offense one more opportunity, here's how the defense responded on a 3rd and 7 with a backup quarterback in the game, and the game, of course, on the line. And sorry in advance for making y'all relive this, but it perfectly illustrates what I'm saying.
Maiden comes in, the redshirt freshman. Coaches are very high on him, but this is a pressure situation on 3rd and 8. And he is going to run it ahead. And look at the extra effort. Look at this effort by Arrington Maiden, who comes into the game and comes up as big as you can.
Great effort by the Tigers. Absolutely abysmal and embarrassing effort by the Razorbacks. Guys standing around, jogging, taking up space, being absolutely useless. Other guys in the pile playing patty cake instead of getting their asses in there and making the tackle, while the largest human being on that football field gets drug 8 yards for a first down to seal the game. And then Sam Pittman, instead of calling this what it was, an inexcusable loss, instead of showing emotion, instead of showing passion and the fire that I keep bringing up that a lot of players on this team clearly lack, says, and I quote, "It's not like we lost by 100, guys." He says, "We can win games, so I'm not trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. The public will, but we've got a good team." Yeah, that's the problem, Sam, is you do have a good team, but they are not playing good. The offense has shown flashes of greatness. The defense has been virtually non-existent. I know inside that Sam Pittman cares. I know in my mind that Sam Pittman loves Arkansas. But if you are unable as the number one leader of this football team, of this program, to even instill enough fire and passion to get maximum effort out of your guys, then there is a massive problem. And that doesn't even address the other major issue that we're talking about, which is namely on defense, your guys looking so mentally unprepared that despite the fact you simplified the defense, they still look lost. They still look incapable of executing their assignment. They're not just getting beat because the guys across from them are better. They're getting beat because for some reason they don't even know what they're supposed to be doing. As I've said many times in the past, I can live with getting beat because the other team is better, but I cannot live with getting beat because you refuse to give maximum effort or because you refuse to put in the necessary time to be mentally prepared to execute your assignment. Once again, I love Sam Pittman. I think he's a good man and somebody I would really enjoy being friends with. But like Nick Saban used to say, if you want to be liked, don't be a leader. And honestly, right now, it seems like from top to bottom, whether it's the coaches or the player captains, we've got guys in leadership roles with likable mentalities, but we don't have enough guys with mentalities that will instill discipline and accountability, that will instill a desire to grow, to improve, to step out of their comfort zone and become the best version of themselves. I think Sam Pittman loves his players and his players love him, which is awesome and great, obviously. But I think he's also a little too timid in regards to correcting and disciplining them when necessary, which is not a successful trait for a great leader. The greatest leader of all time, Jesus Christ, was also the most despised man of all time because he came and preached the truth to us in love, regardless of how it may make us feel, regardless of if it was something we wanted to hear or not. I'm not fed up with Sam Pittman as Arkansas's head coach because I don't like the man. I'm fed up with Sam Pittman as Arkansas's head coach because over the past 3 seasons, including this one, he has shown an inability to bring the best out of his teams on a consistent basis and to effectively manage them on game day. I hate to say that, but that is the reality as I see it. And I've been begging him to prove me wrong, as I said, for the past 3 seasons, and yet all I've really gotten is confirmation. I will always love the man, support the man, and pray for the absolute best for him and his family. But in regards to being the head coach at the University of Arkansas, I do sincerely believe it is time to move on.